I thought I heard something, but whatever. Welcome back. Okay, so I wanted to test something. I want to see if I'm getting better at editing. So let's see if this works. Okay, ready? Ready? Did it work? Hold on, let me try again. Let me try again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay, girl. Yeah, going as the MJ for Halloween. Like, okay, so I never really got to dress up when I was a kid for like Halloween or anything. And now that I'm an adult, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I love the whole costume idea. I love the like, plus I'll make this shit look good.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Here are a few stories that happened to me. No. All right, happy Halloween. So as a person who never really got to dress up when I was a child for like Halloween and such, because it's the devil's birthday, the devil's holiday, all that stuff, I just, realized that now I'm an adult with my own body autonomy and I am free to do whatever I want. So I'm dressing up. It is not harming nor hurting anyone, so here I am. I'm probably going to spend the day with my friends, hanging out and doing fun little activities, getting lit. But before I did all that, I thought I would shoot a little video and tell you some spooky, scary stories. Now, we will say that when it comes to the supernatural, when it comes to, I argue that if you believe in the Holy Ghost, you believe in other ghosts. So I'll put it like that. So I just wanted to tell some spooky ass stories for Halloween, obviously. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the scary story time. One moment, please. We've experienced this. That moment where something just out of the corner of your eye, a dark figure crosses, a shadow, an entity, something. Before you even have a chance to look to see what maybe had moved or tried to hide while you weren't looking, all too quickly, there's nothing there. However, one time when I was a child, I finally saw, or at least I thought I saw, something there. I'm in the house that I grew up in, and it's dark. It's around the evening time, and we are more or less getting ready for bed, tidying up the living room, washing the dishes, putting things away, etc. As I'm walking around, my eyes are slowly adjusting to the dark as we are turning off the lights in the house. Now here's the thing, let me describe this for you. In our household, or the household I grew up in, I remember that when we remodeled, we had placed a giant mirror in front of the door to the entrance of our house. So as you're leaving the house, you could turn and look and see, look in the mirror to check out your outfit before you get head out the door. Now you see, I remember, to better describe the layout of our house, so you would have, there's the entrance to the house and a platform where there was a door to the left here that led to the garage, and then a staircase that led to the living room. So from the living room, you could see the front door and you could see the mirror. So as I'm walking through the living room, I look into the mirror and I see a woman and her young child just huddled in the corner, holding each other very tightly. For a brief second, I make eye contact with the woman. I blink, and then she's suddenly gone. The woman, and her child. And I remember thinking, that was weird. Anyway, let's go to bed. I would think about that moment often and couldn't help but wonder, why were they hiding from us? For this next story, this still keeps me up at night sometimes when I think about it too hard. Shout out to the Nigerian girls I met when I was in college. This story spooks me. So this girl currently is in boarding school. And from what I've gathered from my Nigerian parent and also a bunch of other Nigerian girls who went to boarding school, let's just say it's an interesting experience. Hazing from the seniors, abusive teachers, etc. But this specific story of course, involves the spookums. So this girl, of course, is living in a room with a bunch of other girls, with a bunch of bunk beds all around, and their things are essentially tucked underneath their bed. One day, she notices that her oil, her cooking oil, has been ever so slightly decreasing more than she knows that she's using it. So she asks all the other girls in the room, which one of you is still using my cooking oil? Which one of you is cooking with my oil? They all obviously deny it. She doesn't believe them. So she comes up with a plan. She was going to wait around at night, stay awake to see who was stealing from her, who was taking her oil. Nighttime comes, all the girls are sound asleep in their room, and all except one who's keeping a very close eye around everyone in the room. When all of a sudden, two entities appear in the room, sort of just manifest, as if blink and suddenly they were there. A mother and son. And with them, they're carrying a stove, a few cooking ingredients, a couple of plates, etc. They're setting shop in the middle of the room, and the mother instructs her son to go and grab the oil that they had been using all this time. As it would turn out, it was the girl's oil. The son goes and grabs it, and the mother continues to do the cooking that she needs to do for her and her son, and eventually the food is finally ready to be eaten. So then the mother decides to, place 3 dishes in front of her. The son is confused. Mother, why did you place 3 dishes? Isn't it just you and me that's eating? I hate that I'm telling this. It's actually spooking me right now. To which the mother says, oh no, my dear son. It's you, me, and the girl that's watching us. Woo! Scary stuff. All right, because I'm spooking myself a little bit, I'm gonna tell this next one with an air of humor, even though it was dumb as hell. So this last story happened while I was in college. So as I've stated in a previous video, I was a resident assistant. And during Halloween, I used to love that time of the year because we would decorate the hall to look like a haunted house. And then whoever decorated the hall the best got the house points. So, it was fun stuff. Everyone got into the spirit of spooky season. However, a few residents would get into the spooky season a little too much. Now, this is how I know that sometimes certain types of people are bored with their life. So it didn't directly happen to me. I would be told the story after the fact. But I just remember thinking, y'all funny for doing this. Y'all dumb as hell for doing this. So a couple of residents, a few girls, getting into the spooky season a little too much, had decided that they were gonna buy a Ouija board. Now, before I continue, let me just explain that it was rumored that our dorm hall was haunted because, they've torn down the building now, so it doesn't exist anymore, which is actually kind of sad. But our dorm hall was haunted. A nun had drowned or something in the pool, and etc., etc. It used to be a nun's conservatory, which is why the doors look like prison doors. But again, anyway, the hall was haunted, and I guess that might have inspired them to do some dumbass shit. So there's 4 girls or something. They buy a Ouija board and decide to communicate with entities and beings beyond their understanding. They begin to talk to someone, and apparently one of these entities gets pissed off and starts to quote-unquote threaten one of the girls. They all get spooked. They're all thinking they're all playing a trick on each other, so they're just kind of okay, let's just stop, haha, and I don't know, paint each other's nails or do facial manicures, pedis, whatever. When all of a sudden, one of these girls starts to have a seizure. And she had no medical history of ever in her life ever having a seizure. It would turn out that apparently they did not properly end the conversation on the Ouija board and would summon a bunch of beings into the building where the rest of us live on some dumbassery. I remember my hall director, who was of Asian descent. I'm not gonna get too specific. Of Asian descent, was a little bit pissed because again, he also had like certain entities and spiritual beings. Like, you know, the supernatural is something that a lot of people of color, in one degree or another, we have a certain belief in. Even if it's not like 100%, we know the astral plane, the spiritual plane, etc. So he was pissed. The hall director was pissed. He was just kind of like, yeah, you gonna do that shit again? Because what? Who told you to put the rest of us in danger? If you wanted to put your ass in danger, go ahead. Don't put the rest of us in danger. But yeah, no. The girl would end up going to like the hospital and they would check her over. She was seemed okay. And she was fine. She was fine. I hope. I don't know, I didn't follow up. It wasn't like I was trying to meet the spirit, I was trying to talk to shit. But anyway, those were the spooky stories I wanted to tell. I hope you have a safe and fun Halloween. Stay safe. Don't communicate with any entity, beings, human or supernatural, that you ain't had no business talking to. And have fun. Don't eat too much candy now. Like, brush your teeth. And stay tuned.